YouTube, welcome back to another video, and this video is a little bit of a different one. Okay, it's not so much training related or hybrid training, strength, endurance, etc. It's a little bit more about how to go about building a high performance routine that lasts. Okay, I think there's a lot of different routines out there. Get up at 4 a.m, jump in a cold bath, do a handstand for half an hour, write your life's worries on A4 paper. Instead, there is a lot more things you could probably spend time doing, which is probably a little bit simple, a bit easier and a little bit more simple. Okay, and I'm going to go through this in a little bit more detail because for me, high performance training stems this. Okay, being focused on health, fitness, etc. has such a knock-on effect in other avenues of life, and I think having a routine to accompany that definitely helps. So, the most common problem. Most people don't fail from lack of effort. They fail from structure or a lack of structure. Okay, I've worked with all sorts of people who worked in investment banking, who have their own business, who doctors, solicitors, the full lot. Okay, and the effort is there. They go to the gym, they'll train hard or have trained in the past, but it's just something they don't seem to stick to for long periods of time when things get difficult. You know, work becomes more busy or social life or whatever else it may be, because they have no system, they've got no clarity and no momentum keeping them from preventing them from falling off the track. Now, you can't perform at a high level if your days are scattered, chaotic, and this is something I've learned myself. I think one thing I've definitely learned is, each day needs almost a structure to follow, and trying not to do as much as possible in each day, focusing on quality over quantity. So the truth about routine, high performance, in my opinion, is not built on motivation. It's built on discipline, but also design, okay, when it comes to your routine. Because for me, a great routine should something that reduces decision fatigue. So what do I do today? Or when do I do this? When should I do that? It's going to help you create consistency for when things get tough. You know exactly what you need to do, but just generally build that consistency, that snowball effect, which is going to allow you to stick to things further along the line. And also protect your energy, okay? I'm going to go into that later on in a slide, and that will make a little bit more sense. So firstly, when it comes to your routine, start with your non-negotiables, okay? So what do you need to do every day to perform? Is it training? Is it deep work, spending time with family? Is it focusing on recovery, making sure you're eating high quality nutrition? And anchor them into your day first. So when are you going to put those in your calendar, or when would you like to with the time you have free? If you obviously work 9 till 5, then obviously you can't just tell your boss, I'm going to the gym at 11 a.m. Okay. However, you can obviously put it in the times that you do have available, i.e. before work, or after work, or even at the weekend. And then from there, you build your schedule around your performance and not convenience. Okay, so a couple of ideas for me. I like to get up early, fresh air. I'll go out. At the moment, it's great. I'm in Cyprus, so I can enjoy sunshine, 24 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is lovely. So for me, I wake up, I'll go outside, I'll walk down to the front, I'll have a jump in the sea, bit of nature, bit of fresh air, stay off my phone, hydrate before I go down there as well, which is very important. Grab a coffee on the way back, and then I can go into deep work and then training. And I know if I can do that, I'm happy each day, because that to me they're my non-negotiables, especially whilst I'm out here. Obviously, when I'm back in the UK, I can't just go and jump in the sea, because where I live in the Midlands, there's no sea nearby. But you get the gist of where I'm going with that. Another thing to think about is use energy blocks, not time blocks, okay? So structure your day around your energy levels and not necessarily the clock, okay? So I'm going to give you a little example of my own with this just to make it a little bit more applicable. So in the morning time, I know I'm a lot more creative. I have far less distractions. A great thing with being in Cyprus at the moment is I'm 2 hours ahead of the UK. So clients aren't up when I'm doing all of this, which is great. But I know in the morning is my deep work creative block. So 2 hours from 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock, that is when the blinkers are on. Okay, that's when I'm creating content. That's when I'm creating resources, thinking of ways to improve content, grow the business, etc., etc. Become a better coach or provide a better service. This is my creative time. From there, after a couple of hours, I know, right, I need a little bit of a break. I need to go and get a bit of fresh air again, get out. Just if we look at like a peak, I would rather finish just before I'm about to hit that peak block and then come back later on and almost carry on that trajectory. Rather than burning myself out doing junk volume, a bit like in the gym, I would rather get quality over quantity, leave feeling good, because then I know when I come back to work later on in the afternoon, I'm excited to get back into it. Midday is training and movement. So for me, I'll head to the gym around about 12 o'clock ish, normally just before. Train for just over an hour till about 1. I'll then head down to the front. Again, a little bit of walking, put a podcast on, nice bit of sun. So for me, that's almost like another energy boost. I've done 2 hours of deep work. I've been up nice and early. I've then gone to train, got my energy back, got a bit of fresh air, put a podcast on to help with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of motivation, listening to different ideas and brainstorming, etc. And then my PM afternoon is more shallow work and recovery. So for example, I don't know if you can tell, but it is coming up to 3:15. So for me, this morning was content, creating 5 YouTube videos, this being one of them. However, I'm doing the afternoon. I know to film it is a little bit easier. It doesn't take as much focus as sort of creating it and coming up with the ideas. As well, in the afternoons, typically when I might do consultation calls, catch up with clients, that sort of thing, because I know that it doesn't take me as much time and focus. It's a bit more enjoyable. I'm on a couple of courses at the moment with business and training. So again, that's typically when I would do that. So the main thing to take away is protect your best energy for your biggest priorities. So what is going to allow you to move forward furthest and give you the best return on investment? Get that done when you've got the most amount of energy, rather than if I was to do my deep work, creative work at 4 or 5 p.m., it'd take me A, forever, and B, would be nowhere near as crisp or as high quality as it would be if it was in the morning. Okay, everyone is different, but that's just typically how it works for me. Design your life like an athlete. Okay, so athlete structure for performance and not being busy for the sake of it. Okay, I've definitely been in that realm, especially when I was doing the in-person personal training, where I would happily do 6, 7, 8 sessions a day. I'd do it throughout the day, didn't matter what time, just get me the sessions done. And that drained a lot of time and effort and energy. And it was very hard to keep that upbeat energy for each different individual when I'd been in the gym from 6 a.m. till 6, 7 p.m. at night. So what I would be considering is thinking about, right, when can I block out the majority of my day and have it as a set theme? So if you're personal training, you might do it, right, my PT sessions are 6 a.m. till 12 o'clock. The afternoon is admin. Okay, so rather than just trying to be busy for the sake of it, focus on quality over quantity with your work and have set themes across that day. You want to make sure, obviously, you can train, you can recover, you refuel, and you repeat, a bit like an athlete. Okay, almost treat work like your sport. Because for me, when it comes to high performance, what does high performance actually mean? Finding rhythm and quality output. Okay, so being in a good routine, being consistent, and basically giving your best to the task at hand that it is you are doing on that day. Okay, whether that's training, work, being a partner, I wouldn't know about that one, but you get my point. Reviewing daily. Okay, a little bit of a wishy-washy one, I used to think, the whole mindset review, etc. and whatnot. However, it's something I have been doing in the evening time, where I would literally just review, write down how my day has gone. I've got a little notes folder on my laptop, and I just type away. There's loads of spelling, but I don't care. I just write it. I know it makes sense. What went well, what needs improving, and what is tomorrow's focus. So it could be what went well. I ticked off my to-do list. I had a really good gym session, and I got to speak to someone in the gym and made a new friend. I don't know. I'm just thinking, just as an example. What needs improvement? It could well be that you think, okay, well, for me, I didn't eat enough before my gym session, so I felt a little bit flat. Okay, that could be an improvement. Or it could be you got distracted a bit too much during your work block, which the quality of your work wasn't quite as good as it could be. So what could you do to improve that? Keep your phone away from you. A bit like me at the moment. My phone is other side of the room. What's tomorrow's focus? So I always like to plan the day before what I need to do tomorrow. So at the end of each day, I'm going to write a few bits down as like, right, what is tomorrow's main focus? For me, being self-employed and obviously being in charge of work, etc., each day has a designated theme. Okay, Monday is about short form content, emails, LinkedIn, Instagram posts, catching up with clients from the weekend. That's typically sort of on a Monday. Tuesday is creating content, long form, filming, editing a few bits and bobs. I filmed a vlog yesterday, so I'm going to edit it this afternoon, a little bit later on. Wednesdays would be things like, I don't know, sending off my Instagram reels to be edited by an editor. It would be looking at sort of ways of analytics in terms of what content's done well, what do I need to improve upon, etc., etc. Client programming, a couple of calls I've got in the evening, I will jump on a Wednesday. Thursday, again, is a little bit more of it's a rest day for me, so I'll keep my Thursdays a little bit of a slower morning, maybe go outside a little bit longer in the mornings because I don't have to worry about working as early because I'm not going to the gym. But again, Thursday is quite cool, heavy in the afternoon with clients, consultation calls, etc. typically happen on a Thursday. And then Friday, check-ins. So you can see that's pretty much my week. So I roughly know what each day needs to do. But at the end of each day, I'll write specific tasks. And then at least that way I can wake up the following morning knowing what I need to do. So there's a few takeaways. I know it's a slightly different video, but I do think that fitness plays such a huge stem in being able to stay disciplined, follow a routine, and allow you to keep moving that needle forward, as I've spoken about. So I would always say start simple. You don't need to start doing a minute in the cold shower or 15 minutes of breath work, because most often you're probably not going to stick to it. Start really simple. Get up half an hour earlier. It could be get outside first thing. Stay off your phone for the first half an hour of the day, as an example. Protect your energy. So when you know you have the most energy and the highest frequency, look to obviously utilize those times for that, as opposed to wasting it. Build systems that you can stick to. So have those systems in place that right, I can follow this for long periods of time. I can push when things are quiet and I can pull back when work may be quite hectic or other things are going on in life. The routine doesn't make you perfect. It's just going to allow you to stay prepared and constantly move the needle forward and ultimately not fall off track. So slightly different video today. Hopefully it gives you an insight into sort of how to think about setting up a routine. And obviously you can take bits from this and apply it to your own routine, whether it is you are employed, working for yourself, looking to go self-employed, whatever it may be. Because I do think being self-employed has its pros, but also from a routine perspective, it has its cons, because it can be very easy, because I've been there, waking up and thinking, what should I do today? While sounds great, is not the most fulfilling and also isn't going to allow you to progress, because it's like going to the gym thinking, right, what should I train today? I'll do this, and a bit of this. Whereas if you have a plan that right, I need to do this, I need to do this set, this amount of reps, and for this weight to progress. And it's the same with a routine. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.